Uh, Good day to you. It's the 16th of September 2023. The time is moving on. It's a better day here in Ireland, much better day after all the rain we had in rural Ireland. Now, this is about the Garda and Drew Harris, the Commissioner. Okay, now I want to read some of the comments and just discuss this a little bit because this is very, very worrying what's going on, in my opinion, and I'm being confronted by people on the street about it and everything like that. And it has to be said, I'm with law and order. I like to know what the laws are. I want the laws to be basic, just enough, no more. We want to know what they are, and I want to see them enforced. That goes right across the whole gambit, including the laws on the environment, which are broken by this government, and all of that sort of stuff. Now, we're going to look at some of them. And we have, now remember folks, if you're not used to it, you can put in a fake name. And anyway, I'll never name anyone on this channel without their consent. I will name somebody like the Garda Commissioner or somebody like that, but I'll never name an individual. Oh, such a one told me, John Henry McCracken or something. I'd never do that because that would frighten people off. I wouldn't do that anyway. Now, so Conlet Redmond is the name. Conlet Redmond 9143. It says, I don't know if that's a man or a woman, and it doesn't matter. It says, as I remember it, Harry Breen and Bob Buchanan that got killed at Edna Napa Road that time. And there I do stand corrected. It wasn't Drew Harris's father at all. So this is a great thing about my channel. I make a mistake, like other media, they push with it. I don't. The minute I'm corrected, I go back and correct it. That's because here we have not fake news, real true education. Not fake news is meant to be that. So now I get educated. The only thing is I did bring up the name of his father in the context of him being killed, and a young man having his father killed because of the historical problems in Ireland is very sad. And I just have empathy as someone who reared a family and have a father killed. I don't like to see blood spilled or life lost. I can't help being like that. I'm as good as Irishman as any other. But and I am an Irishman, a real nationalist Irishman, but that's not on. And so his father was killed by IRA at some other, or IRA or one branch of them at some time. I will needn't go into it. It's just I'm technically wrong to say he was killed on the Dundalk Newry border. That's not what happened. That was a different person. It was Drew Harris's father was killed in the Troubles by Republican paramilitaries. So I stand corrected. We leave it like that. Now, another one is ABDT1IW. I agree with you, Val, but who do you vote for? I do not see the Shinners as being any different from the Fine Gael Green Party and Fianna Fáil, and the nationalist parties are not making any headway. And this is the sad part. What a knackered comment. What a knackered comment. Do you know if I ran in Cavan Monaghan Division for TD, and I really don't want that. I mean, my life's too blooming short to become, but still, I don't think I'd get elected. I do not think I'd get elected. I think I'd get 3,000 votes. And I'm well known. I lived in Monaghan. I lived in Cavan. I don't think I would, and I don't think anyone I'd recommend would. I'm not sure, but I'm told I wouldn't, and I think that's the case. Now, who do you vote for? Well, you always vote for independents. What I'm saying is there's 10 independents good. They're good enough. They're good enough, right? There's some of them great, like Richard Collins and Mahi McGrath and those, and they're very good. So vote for non-party candidates. The other thing is, if there's any straggler coming on that's a bit on our side, anyone that's half on our side, or there would be a bit on our side that mightn't have much of a hope, give them a vote, give them a vote. It is a strange situation, but it must boil down to the fact that 80% or 85% of our neighbours are for all these creeps. That's what I keep saying. Now, we'll debate that at a later stage. What do you do? That was said to me at a wedding in Dublin years ago. Who do we vote for? Well, they had Gemma Doherty, knobs and all. They had her. They gave her 4,000 votes. I'm not saying I agree with everything she says, but why didn't they vote for her? Give them a headache, let her in there. Let her give them a bit of a rattle. They didn't do it. There's a good example in Fingal. There's a good example. Now, some says that ballot was rigged. Look, I've been at elections. I don't think so. We needn't go there anyway. We need to go there. Now, are you aware? Now, this is Katrina O'Connell, 3212. 3213. I think that's probably a fake name. I hope it is. I don't like naming anyone, but that's here in public anyway. You are aware in Garda Síochána are listed business company offshore on Dun and Bradstreet. That's news to me now. I'll just say that to you again. You'll see it on the bottom there, anyway. You are aware on Garda Síochána are listed business company offshore on Dun and Bradstreet. All I'm aware of is the Gardaí have a credit union. They have 2 credit unions, which they're entitled to have, and they're run fairly well. I don't believe the car draws in any credit union in Ireland is honest. I don't believe that. But the other one that nobody has to pay into them anyway. But they have 2 credit unions, one in Dublin and one in Cork. And like I say that about that, there might be 1 or 2 who do it honestly, but very, very strange. Nobody seems, I know, ever seems to win a car or anything big. But I could be wrong. I'm just saying I have big suspicions. I wouldn't trust others as far as I'd throw them. So they have them. They have a medical aid society, which is a good insurance company. What else they're into, I don't know. There's golf clubs and all that. They're good organisers enough. Look, I don't know, and I'm not going to condemn or anything. But there was a racket over Templemore and the canteen, and I'd like to know what happened there. There's an investigation on there. I don't know. Another man, John PU3SU, says, fair balls, Val. He says, I'm probably being accurate. I'm being constructively accurate. Gardaí seem to be using those body armour outfits with police in place like Chicago and LA have been wearing for a few years. There was a time the Garda had a lovely Bull's wool serge. It was a blacky blue uniform. It was a beautiful, tasty uniform. And they had capes. A cape like Sandyman. Did you ever see the label of Sandyman port? And they were in the DMA in the Dublin areas. They were lovely. They were smart as anything. Oh, Lord, they were lovely. I don't know, was it necessary for the Gardaí to go from the smart uniforms they had to what they have today, which is really rags. Riches to rags in many ways. Bulletproof vests, well, maybe some areas. Flash jackets. Well, if you're stopping traffic or that, if they're stopping, they need reflective stuff. It used to be a Scotch-Lite belt. Oh, the old uniform. I remember the guard in King's Court long ago, and he had a baton on. He'd lovely. He'd be dressed. Oh, he'd be looking something. Like you'd be looking at him going by. He was like an ornament, like, you know. Then some people criticised him and said there were ornaments. I don't know. Some of them would have a permanent crease in their pants. And that was a bit silly. Now, we go on then to Fionton Macaire, 1048. Did you see the video of the passing out parade in Templemore? I am getting worried. Now, there's 2 replies to that. I don't know what that's about. The one thing that's good in the Guards is drill. Drill is really good. I think there should be drill for all young people. There should be drill where you march up and down. It's the best fun. This is in the FCA too. Do you have a link? Aye, well, sure. The Garda have always been. No, the Garda have always been a military. They've always had a military aspect to them. It goes back to the early days of police in the UK. Oh, drill is some crack. Oh, left, right, about, turn. It's some crack. I think it's the best training. It's so funny. But I don't know. I'm not worried about that. No. So that's all for now, and keep your comments coming. I was told today that for every 150 people passing through Templemore College, that there's 150 leaving the Guards before the time to retire. They can't stick it. You see, it's a discipline organisation. If you get a case of an eviction somewhere, somebody has to be put out of the house, and the Gardaí get a form called a posse committus, they have to preside at that eviction. It's the county sheriff throws the people out on the road, but the guard have to be there to prevent them being attacked. And that means it has to be a disciplined force. They have to take their order in a piece of paper and they have to execute it. And they have to enforce the law. And they can't be a popularity contest. That's why I wasn't happy with them during the, you know, the thing that this lad here. I wasn't happy with them. You know, this dancing and all that. And I didn't like during COVID that the laws were so bad that a Garda arrested a fisherman and his son out at fishing in Cavan at a lake. I didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. Then if I had my way, there wouldn't be any of that. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. They can't stick it. They're appointing bookmen. They're lads going into the guards, getting into offices in the headquarters and in divisional headquarters around the country, licking up to all the high-ranking men. Oh, he's nice. Oh, she's nice. Oh, she's great. Oh, that's Mary. Oh, she's great. And they let them right up to sergeant, and they keep pushing paper, right? And then they make them up to inspector, and they put them out on the city somewhere and let them there on a unit for a while. And then they get promoted and they horse them down the country, and the country guards can't get promoted. That's what happened with the Maurice McCabe thing. That's what happened in the Donegal inquiry. 2 judges referred to it, given priority. In Cavan Monaghan division, there's a place called Century Homes about 2 miles out the road, and the chief doesn't have a clue what happens outside that area. That was always said by the guards. If you're in the Monaghan town, which is the divisional headquarters, and where there's a chief superintendent, you have 5 to 6 times the opportunity of getting promoted than a fella in Virginia, Ballygymstuff or Arva. And that was always the way, and they don't seem capable of fixing that. And I thought Drew Harris would. He's less capable of it. That's why I'm again turning against him. Less capable of it. 2 judges referred to this. 2 judges. And then this thing, oh, she's a woman. Oh, Noreen Sullivan. Not alone did they put her in charge of the guards, but she made a cut of that, they put her in charge of the children's, something to do with Tuesday or something. Why didn't they let her go off and get a job in McDonald's? That's the fact. People cannot stick the oppression of the current woke, cultural Marxist Irish state. It's a horrible state. People ask, who do you vote for? We've got to get these crowd to hell out of our way. We've got to get them out. We've got to cripple RTE. Cripple it. So that they can't push this bull. And Drew Harris, now for the rest of his time, and I honestly don't have the heart to say he should go. He should leave. I don't like that. I mean, just remember, the Gardaí tried several commissioners from their high-ranking men, Noreen O'Sullivan being one and Martin Callan was the other, and they couldn't find a good one to replace any of them in Ireland. And they were told by the unions, who have a lot to blame, the sergeants and the inspectors unit, the Gardaí's union, the Garda union and the sergeant union, they tried to tell the government, oh, you can't point someone from outside the force. It has to be one of our own. This is the baloney. If you put Michael O'Leary running it, you'd have a queer job. He'd soon shake them. But that doesn't happen. And I think Drew Harris is extremely woke. I don't know. I would plead with him at this stage. Forget your wokeness. If you made a deal with the guards and had a roster before the COVID, you stick with it now and reverse it back and let negotiations take place. You must remember, there is no, be right, the Gardaí have no say. It's like a kingship. It's like the time of Henry VIII. They need to make sure that the people who get into the guards are suitable. They want to stop torturing the people who are decent men and women in the guards. Stop torturing them. Stop jailing teachers for calling boys her. Stop the woke baloney. Stop telling guards you have to call some rascal of a gouger gurrier who tells them after he hits some of them a punch, I'm a lady, by the way, I'm a transgender. And then you have to call him her. Stop that baloney! Stop it! That's what Drew Harris has to do. Stop promoting roke. Stop promoting office people and start promoting people who can do the job on the ground and go out and investigate a crime and bring the person to court or deal with it fairly. Otherwise, all you'll have is a crowd of idiots, a crowd of woke idiots who can't write their name, who know no law. And it's very important that the Gardaí know the basics of the criminal law and the criminal justice system. And I'll tell you one thing, it's a queer mouthful. I know a bit about law, all types, and it's not easy learning it. And give the people who know the law the chance. It's an awful thing that someone who has studied hard, who has been good at school, who had a number of careers ahead of them, and chose the Irish Police Service, our traditional service, Gardaí, or Guardians of the Peace, to discover that they make life hell, that they hate him, and they consider anyone with a bit of head, a bit of brains, as a threat. So the inspector in a particular station sees a sergeant with a bit of brains, he's a threat. Keep him down! Keep him down or keep her down. Same with the chief superintendents in the country areas. There's a person with a bit of brains, an honest person, brainy, good. Keep them down, because if we let them up, they'll be tops. That's the commissioner's job to stop that happening. It's the commissioner's job to stop that happening. And stop appointing all them stupid regional commissioners. There's one in Dublin, one in Sligo, one in Limerick, I think, one in Cork. They're as useful as the teats on my bull. They have no function. They have no function in law or anything else. It's let the chief superintendent run his division, let the commissioner tell them what has to be done and make sure that's right. And get the politics out of it. And stop politicians ringing up, getting their cronies appointed. I knew of politician appointed superintendents who brought these pricks up the way. And they were that bad that there was drugs going on and they had to get them away abroad on holidays before they could raid the establishment for drugs. The superintendent the local guards had to wait till he was gone till they could raid this place for drugs and got drugs. That is what you have going on. And the Helen McEntee will never fix that. Not a snowball's chance in hell. And it's up to the commissioner. He could have done it. He has enough brains. Doesn't look stupid to me. He needs to realise what's wrong now. He needs to bring me up. I'm not going to tell him what to do. I'll advise him. And change the whole damn thing. Otherwise you'll have nobody joining the Guards. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. I couldn't let any youngster, people coming around here doing work for me with contractors and things, driving tractors. What about the Guards? I'm sorry. Can't. That's a sad situation. That's what our independence has come to. That's my word. Keep commenting. We'll trash it out. Because they can ignore me all they like. I don't care. What I'm saying is right. We're entitled to have a decent police force of good people that do the job. It's not an easy job. They can be isolated in the community. People don't like the Guards. Oh, you were a Guard. You were a Guard. Oh, you a Guard, eh? And they identify with this, and a lot of people hate them and all that. But the majority of decent people, and I'm one of them, support the Gardaí and support the whole concept of a good Gardaí, a good judiciary, and all fair. That's wishful thinking. Unfortunately, our high courts now, our courts are gone to hell. They won't enforce the law either. So that's the story. But the superior courts will, if you can go the whole way. That's the story. Utter mayhem. Utter mayhem in the United States is the very same. Utter mayhem. Whole thing is baloney. But we can only point out what's wrong. And on 19 minutes, folks, I'll let it go. Keep the story up. Obviously, people are concerned about this subject. Goodbye. Thank you.